Hello and welcome to the African Diaspora News channel. My name is Vuyo Mgwelo and I am coming to you all the way from Johannesburg, South Africa. Now to like, hit, subscribe so you don't miss out on what is coming or the latest developing news. Make sure you are subscribed and also leave your comments. Now Nigerians mock South Africans over a no passport policy announced by President Cyril Ramaphosa. Now this has caused a lot of spark and controversy from political leaders and South Africans as a whole. Now, a couple of key points that I would like us to talk about and delve into today is the social media mockery as it highlights frustrations. Nigerians use social media to mock South Africans, electricity shortages, poor roads and government issues, raising questions about the country's preparedness for increased regional travel. We spoke about this. South Africans also backlash against the policy where many South Africans criticize the government for prioritizing foreign relations over domestic concerns such as the unemployment, housing, immigration, management. We've seen where a lot of South Africans' identity have been stolen. An example with Chidima Adechina, there's been a lot of young girls who have been coming forward saying that their identities were stolen, they cannot go to school, they can't even get jobs, and some of them have kids now, and now it has been a thing that has escalated to even their children because they can't even go get the social grant that is free to all South Africans because their identity has been stolen. This is why we say only those only documented foreigners should be allowed, because we're still dealing with a lot, especially with identity issues in South Africa and with the Home Affairs. A second one was that the concerns over immigration and xenophobia. We've seen how this has caused a spark, a backlash, and it might lead to another thing that we don't want, which is xenophobic attacks in South Africa. So the no passport policy raises fears about the potential increases in undocumented immigration, which could exacerbate the existing extensions and strain public services. We know where we've heard in certain documentaries where some Nigerians, some Ugandans, some Tanzanians said, no, we actually go to Home Affairs, pay whoever works there, they fix the ID for us, and also they go through a lot because they pay and then this person disappears. And you're not going to go inside Home Affairs and say, I'm looking for this person, I've given them 1.5 so they can give me a new ID or identification. When they lose the money, they lose the money. But I feel like it's also another thing that the South African authorities, especially in Home Affairs, that need to look at. Where we've seen the new Minister of Home Affairs, where he says he's working so hard to tackle the problems within the Home Affairs, to tackle the problems of stolen identities and give it to someone. There was also 2 years back a very big debate where we had South African ladies. One will go to Home Affairs and only to find out you are married to someone that you don't even know. Some, they knew that they were married because they were given money by foreign nationals so that they can start their businesses, also they can stay in South Africa. Documented. These are such things that are still happening, especially in the Eastern Cape, in Johannesburg, in all these poor communities. These are the problems that they are dealing with. Like I said, the poor continues to be poor and the richer continues to be rich, because who is fighting for the poor? Who is fighting for those who have been stolen, whose identities have been stolen? It's a big thing that is still happening, and I don't think it's going to be resolved anytime soon, because our president decides to announce things and he just leaves us there with no moving forward saying this is how things are going to be done. He just announces and then we have to wait and deal with it. And this is why a lot of South Africans have said they're going to shut it down if the President Ramaphosa continues with this mandate. Another one, a talking point that I think is very important, is the concerns over the immigration and the xenophobia. We've spoken about that. And also a fourth one will be the symbolism and the patriarchy and policy decisions. Because I feel like some decisions are just decisions that no one didn't think of. So the critics have also argued that while the policy may symbolize African unity, which is a good thing, but it does little to address the socio-economic realities faced by citizens in both countries, in both Nigeria, in South Africa, in Tanzania, because they also struggle, not just as much as they have paid for documents so that they may get jobs and start businesses, but also South Africans tend to suffer because now, as a South African whose identity has been stolen, you cannot get a job because you are not recognized. You go to Home Affairs and it looks like you are married, or you find out that you are married to someone else, or you find out that someone else has your ID. How does that happen? Because when you go make it an ID, there are your fingerprints. There are certain things that are taken, and it feels like the problem is within Home Affairs, because that's where corruption happens. But then now the blame is being taken by those who are also in South Africa to fight for their lives, to look for a better life. I think this as a whole is still a thing that all the African continents or the African countries need to come together. The presidents need to come together and talk about how is this going to be solved. The last one is the need for the Pan-African solutions that work locally. The announcement highlights the challenge of creating policies that promote African unity while ensuring they align with the practical needs and capacities of individual nations. Let us know your views. Like, subscribe. I am Vuyo Mgwelo, all the way from Johannesburg for the African Diaspora News Channel. And for more, please don't forget to follow me on my own socials. That is Vuyo Mgwelo on YouTube. So let's talk next time.
Unleash the power of knowledge and connect with the heartbeat of the African diaspora. Download our African Diaspora News Channel app now on Google Play and Apple App Store. Stay informed with authentic and diverse perspectives, breaking news, and cultural insights. Immerse yourself in a community that celebrates unity, resilience, and progress. Experience the vibrancy of the diaspora at your fingertips. Don't miss out. Empower your perspective today. Search African Diaspora News Channel and join the conversation.